Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Colleton County. We've been tracking a developing situation in the Green Pond community. That's where we find our Sadeja Smalls, who was first on scene. Sadeja, what can you tell us right now? 11 people were injured, 9 by gunfire at a park in Richland County this morning. From 3 down to 1, the Charleston County School Board says 2 of the finalists for the superintendent position have withdrawn their names after a leak on social media. New tonight, a 27-year-old man is dead after drowning at Folly Beach. The finish line was here in Mount Pleasant. ABC News 4's Kennedy Buck was there to greet them after their long journey. Speaking of speed, it's slow going for millions of travelers right now. Finally, a gorgeous day to enjoy the holiday weekend. The sun came out for a bit. Well, the other big story we're following tonight is the heat. Storm Tracker meteorologist Kirsten Clark joins us live now. It's really that heat index we've been watching closely. How hot is it going to get tomorrow, Kirsten? Good evening and welcome to ABC News 4 at 6. It's been a scorcher of a Saturday, a perfect day to spend near the water. We noticed a big crowd throughout the afternoon out on Edisto Beach. This is a time-lapse look from our Skyview 4 network. Earlier today, Storm Tracker meteorologist Kirsten Clark starts us off tonight. Kirsten, can we expect more of this heat tomorrow?
Oh yes, and through at least the next 7 days, we will start to get, I don't want to say a break, but we'll start to see lower 90s make their return as we head towards next week, but we are certainly going to keep some very hot temperatures in the forecast through tomorrow and especially as we kick off the 4th of July. Otherwise, we've still got a couple people out on Edisto Beach, but you can see that that tide is coming up. There is a coastal flood advisory in effect for coastal Colleton and Charleston counties until 9 o'clock this evening. So just be mindful that we are going to be looking at the possibility of some minor saltwater flooding. So remain cautious if you are going to be doing any traveling. Could be dealing with a little bit of that flooding. Otherwise, 88 degrees right now in Charleston, still hanging on to those beautiful sunny skies. Temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to low 90s throughout the area today. We're still very warm, 90 in Walterboro, 88 in Moncks Corner and in Somerville. And look at how steamy it is. Those dew points in the low to mid 70s. So we've got that heat, we've got the humidity, and we've got a couple of showers moving through Dorchester County right now along that sea breeze. That'll continue to push inland, and we are looking at a dry night ahead of us. But look at those temperatures. They're not cooling down all too much, only into the middle 70s. So we'll talk more about that heat, what we can expect as we head into your Sunday, and we've got some rain chances creeping back in the forecast. We'll talk about that as well. That's all coming up here in just a little bit.
We're covering Your Voice, Your Future. Presidential hopeful Donald Trump spoke in the upstate today. Many lined up for hours, braving the heat to hear the former president speak. Samir Nefsi was there and reports on what Mr. Trump had to say.
Former President Donald Trump speaking here in Pickens for just over an hour. The rally pretty much on brand for the former president, from criticizing the Biden administration to touting GOP polls indicating he's the front runner, while vowing, if elected, to, quote, make America great again. As the scorching sun beat down in Pickens County, the 45th president visiting the upstate to rally supporters.
Under crooked Joe Biden, Main Street is being crushed by catastrophic inflation. Our Constitution is being ripped to shreds.
It didn't take long for former President Donald Trump to segue into his legal woes, specifically the 37 felony counts of alleged mishandling of classified documents. Trump claims he's protected by the Presidential Records Act.
You have a thug prosecutor named Smith, Jack Smith. He's a thug. He's had many losses, he's destroyed many lives, and they put him in charge. In the meantime, what about Biden's records? Charging a former president of the United States under the Espionage Act of 1917 is one of the most outrageous and vicious legal theories ever put in an American court of law.
It's an issue Trump supporters say doesn't faze them.
You know, the devil come to kill, steal, and destroy, so if anything happens, they trying to come and bring him down. That's all it is. They trying to find something. All them indictments ain't even worth it.
Whether there's truth to it or not, that's for the courts to decide, and I'll let them play their role.
According to a 538 poll, the former president has a 51.8% GOP favor, followed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis with 23.5%.
And he's doing horribly, by the way, in Nebraska and Iowa.
Trump also touting the conservative wins on the heels of recently released Supreme Court opinions.
And this week, those justices ruled to move our country forward. They also gave religious liberty a tremendous win, you know that.
As for the current administration, Trump focusing on recent headlines about the Biden family.
When I get back in office, I will appoint a real special prosecutor to investigate every detail of the Biden crime family of corruption.
Former President Donald Trump claimed there were 7,500 supporters here attending the rally in Pickens. In Pickens, I'm Samir Nafsi.
We're also hearing from the state Democratic Party new tonight. They spoke yesterday, saying the president would pander to his MAGA base in today's speech. They also pointed to moves they say he made while in the White House that hurt the Palmetto State.
In his very first budget, Trump tried to get rid of the Appalachian Regional Commission, a group of agencies that supports economic development in South Carolina. And one of South Carolina's Appalachian counties is Pickens, where Trump will be this weekend. And he tried eliminating community block grants that gave over $30 million to South Carolina to build affordable housing in the state.
State Democratic Party Chair Christale Spain said Donald Trump was a failed president whose record left South Carolinians behind. And new tonight, we've learned President Biden will be making a trip to South Carolina. He'll travel to the Palmetto State on Thursday. Additional details on the visit haven't been released. New tonight, police are trying to find the driver that hit and killed someone along King Street Extension this morning. It happened a little before 7:20 near Dysher Street. The road was blocked for hours while police investigated. The name of the pedestrian hasn't been released. Police are asking you to look out for a silver sedan with damage to the front passenger side. New tonight, we've also learned a 46-year-old died in a crash in Cross. The Berkeley County coroner identified the motorcyclist as Ross Sellers. Highway Patrol says he was driving a Harley when it ran off the road and hit a ditch. This was on Highway 311 last night. Now to Isle of Palms, where police say a golf cart and car were involved in a crash earlier today. One person from the cart had to be taken to the hospital, but is expected to recover. Police had to shut down several roads for about 45 minutes, and they asked us to pass along a message, urging you to be super careful when you're driving around the beach, especially with more people around for the holiday weekend. A celebration of life for former North Charleston Police Chief Eddie Driggers took place this morning. The beloved leader served as chief from January 2013 to 2018. News 4's Sadeja Smalls was at his service today and spoke with those who knew and loved the former leader.
He was literally the arms of Jesus.
A man known and loved by many, Chief Eddie Driggers was all about his faith, fun, friends, and family.
Eddie was one of those rare people that you just didn't know Eddie connected with you. And we all have that shared common experience.
His many years of service touched and guided the lives of those who joined NCPD after him.
He's one of the reasons that I got into law enforcement. I saw the way that he served, and being from North Charleston is something that I wanted to follow in the footsteps of guys like him.
Those who knew him say Chief Driggers was a role model, always leading the community with compassion.
The way that we move forward is to honor him through our service. A lot of the things that he instilled in us individually and as an agency, we continue to follow those out, right? Live out the vision that he set forth.
We're told Chief Driggers would often ask people, "Do you know you're loved today?" Many says he was a man of God who always made sure everyone knew that they were loved, no matter what.
I could call on that man right there, and he would be where I needed him to be. Even if it meant losing his life. That's how much I trusted and loved that man And that's how much that man loved me.
Working for you, Sadeja Smalls, News 4.
Chief Driggers was 69 years old. He served in the military before joining the North Charleston Police Department in 1975. He was also an ordained deacon and for many years was a chaplain with the Coastal Crisis Chaplaincy. His family asked donations in his honor to be made to the chaplaincy or to the Church of the Resurrection. There's a new lead in an animal cruelty case out of North Charleston. Animal Control provided the Charleston Animal Society with some surveillance. You can see the car on the left. The Animal Society says witnesses pointed it out and say someone in that car abandoned the injured dog along Hampton Avenue. Both the dog's ears were severely cut. The gray and white pit mix is being treated at the Animal Society. There's a $5,000 reward for information in the case. If you know anything about it, call North Charleston Police. And still ahead tonight, a coastal crack, the popular attraction in the Carolinas that's been shut down and who first noticed there was a problem.
It is new research giving us new insight to testosterone and the heart. I'm Liz Bonus. What guys need to know to be well. It is just ahead.